Hello friends, welcome to Bookku. Today, we're going to talk about the book Think Less, Do More by Peter Hollins. Many times, we're unable to even start a task because we think we have to do it perfectly. This thought traps us, and we keep thinking about it but never actually do anything. This state is called inertia, that is stagnation or standstill. The simplest cure for it is to lower your standards a bit. Think about when you want to learn a new skill like painting or playing guitar. If you expect to become a professional artist from the very beginning, you might never start at all. You'll feel like you're not good enough and hold yourself back, thinking there's no point in doing it until you're perfect. But if you lower your standards and simply try to make a small doodle or play a basic tune, you'll begin. And once you begin, moving forward becomes easier. Similarly, when we think about a big task, it starts to feel so overwhelming that we can't even begin. Suppose you need to write a 10-page report and you tell yourself it must be perfect. That very thought makes it feel too difficult, and you start procrastinating. But if you tell yourself to just write the first paragraph, no matter how bad it is, you'll be able to start. Our brain is more interested in seeing the finish line, but when it looks too far away, it gets scared. To overcome this, just make your first step easier. If you want to start exercising, don't think that you have to work out for 1 hour every day. Just think you'll stretch for 5 minutes. Once you stretch, you might feel like doing more. Perfectionism is often the biggest enemy of progress. We believe we have to be perfect at everything. But the truth is, perfection never comes in one go. It comes slowly through repeated efforts. The first draft is always bad. The first attempt is always average. The first step is always shaky. But if you accept that and give yourself permission to be average in the beginning, you can defeat inertia. Think about a child learning to walk. Do they start running without falling? No. They fall, they get up and slowly learn to walk. If they believed that they shouldn't try until they can walk perfectly, they would never learn. We need to adopt the same mindset. Often, we think if we lower our standards, our work will be bad. But that's not true. Starting is the hardest part of any task. If you can make that part easier, the rest becomes easier on its own. Once you start writing, you can edit as you go. Once you start exercising, you can build stamina. Once you start a business, you can improve it over time. But if you keep waiting for a perfect start, you may never start at all. So, next time you feel overwhelmed by pressure to do something, just lower your standards a bit. Make your target smaller. Break the work into smaller parts. And most importantly, don't burden yourself with the need to be perfect. You just need to start, no matter how small the start is. Once you're in motion, inertia fades away. We often think we need motivation first to start doing something, but the reality is the opposite. Motivation comes from action. If you take the first step, even without motivation, you'll slowly start feeling motivated. When you start doing something, you get involved in it. And then your brain itself pushes you forward. Suppose you need to read a long book, but don't feel like reading. You think, I'll start when I feel like it. But if you just read 2 pages, your brain will gradually get into the process, and soon you'll want to read more. This principle applies to everything: exercise, studying, work, or learning a new skill. If you just start, motivation will follow. The problem with motivation is it's temporary. A motivational video or speech might inspire you, but it doesn't last long. If you rely only on motivation, you'll soon feel lazy again. But if you build the habit of taking action, you can achieve your goals without needing constant motivation. A perfect example is working out. Many people think they should only go to the gym when they feel like it. But if they just start with 5 minutes of stretching, their body and mind will get into it, and they'll want to do more. This principle applies to everything. When you start doing any task, your energy starts shifting toward it, and motivation naturally follows. Think about a time when you felt lazy about doing something, but once you started for some reason, you began enjoying it. That's because once you take action, your brain tunes itself to that direction. Sometimes in the beginning, we feel bored with a task, but if we keep at it it starts to feel interesting. This is a psychological fact. When we get involved in an activity, our mind starts working toward completing it. Another big benefit of taking action is that your self-doubt and uncertainty start to fade. When you only think about how hard something is, it feels even harder. But when you start doing it, you realize it's not that difficult. Interestingly, taking action can also change your self-image. If you think of yourself as a lazy person, you'll behave accordingly. But if you take just 5 minutes of action, you start creating a new story about yourself. I'm someone who can work without motivation, and that makes you more willing to do even more. To understand why action is necessary for motivation, imagine a cycle. Action, small result, confidence, motivation, more action. Slowly, this motivation builds and brings big changes in your life. Put simply, if you start a task even when you don't feel like it, you'll soon get interested in it. And if you keep doing that again and again, you won't need to wait for motivation. You'll take action and motivation will follow. We often get scared by the word risk. We feel that if we take a big step and it goes wrong, we'll be in trouble. This fear keeps us away from new opportunities. But in reality, risk isn't just danger, it can also be a path to growth. When we stop seeing risk as something scary and instead see it as a chance to learn and move forward, our lives can change completely. Imagine a child who wants to learn how to ride a bicycle. There's always a risk of falling. But if the child never tries just because of the fear of falling, then they will never learn how to ride a bicycle. But when they take the risk, fall, get up, and try again, one day they will be able to ride comfortably without falling. This same principle applies to our entire life. Many people prefer to stay in their comfort zone because there are no risks there. But staying in the comfort zone limits our life. The biggest drawback of staying in the comfort zone is that you never grow. When you learn a new skill, start a new business, or take on a new challenge, there is definitely risk involved. But along with that risk, there are also great opportunities to learn and grow. Taking risks doesn't mean making big decisions without thinking. It means taking calculated risks. Analyze the situation, understand its pros and cons, and then make an informed decision. When you take risks in this way, the chances of failure decrease and the chances of success increase. Another big benefit of embracing risk is that it makes you mentally strong. When you take small risks repeatedly and learn from them, your ability to face challenges increases. You gain the confidence to face any obstacle. Gradually, your mind starts to see failure as a learning process rather than something to fear. If you look at your professional life, you'll see that all successful entrepreneurs and leaders have taken big risks at some point. If they were afraid of risk, they might never have reached where they are today. Steve Jobs took risks and built Apple. Elon Musk took risks and created companies like Tesla and SpaceX. Behind every great success, there is some risk involved. Similarly, in personal life, too, if we always try to play safe, we will never reach our full potential. If someone is afraid to express their feelings because of the risk of rejection, they will never be able to express themselves. But if they take the risk, either they'll succeed or they'll learn something new from the rejection and move forward. Taking risks doesn't mean you'll always win. Sometimes you will fail. But these failures will teach you how to do things better next time. All successful people in the world have failed multiple times, but they learned from every failure and did better next time. If you're afraid of taking risks, start by changing your mindset. Don't see risk as a threat. See it as an opportunity. Whenever you get a new opportunity, don't just think about what could go wrong. Also think about how much you could gain if things go right. This way of thinking will make you proactive, and you'll be able to grab more opportunities in life. Another advantage of taking risks is that it improves your creativity and problem-solving skills. When you accept a new challenge, you are forced to step out of your comfort zone and find new solutions. This boosts your thinking capacity and makes you feel more confident. So next time, when you face a risky opportunity, don't reject it just because of fear. Analyze it carefully, and if you feel the risk is worth taking, go for it. It might turn out to be the best decision of your life, and could change your life completely. Often, when we plan our day, we make a to-do list. We write down all the tasks that need to be done. But many times, we find that the day ends and many tasks remain unfinished. One big reason for this is that we don't pay attention to what distracts us. That's why we shouldn't just have a to-do list, but also a don't-do list. This is a list of things you must avoid to stay focused and productive. Think, if you start scrolling social media first thing in the morning, you lose a lot of valuable time. You might plan to spend just 5 minutes, but when you check the clock, 30 to 40 minutes are gone. Similarly, if you check emails constantly or react to every small thing instantly, your energy is spent in the wrong places. A don't-do list helps you identify such habits so you can avoid them. To create this list, observe which activities distract you during the day. Do you check your phone during every small break? Do you waste time in unnecessary meetings? Do you spend too much time on social media without a plan? Note these down and add them to your don't-do list. The biggest benefit of a don't-do list is that it teaches you discipline. When you clearly know what not to do, you can focus better on important tasks. Suppose your list says, I won't use social media before 10 a.m. Then, whenever you feel like opening Instagram or Twitter, your list will remind you that it's not your priority. Over time, this becomes a habit and your productivity increases. Many people think that working hard is enough for success, but working smart is more important. Instead of just staying busy, if you manage your time wisely, you can achieve more in less time. The don't-do list helps you identify which tasks are just wasting your time, so you can redirect your energy to more meaningful work. Update this list regularly. You might initially think only social media distracts you, but after a few weeks, you might realize that unnecessary meetings also waste a lot of time. Then you can add, I won't attend meaningless meetings to your list. This list is not only helpful in avoiding distractions, but it also gives you emotional and mental clarity. Often we make decisions that are not right for us just because we can't say no. If your list says, I won't say yes to things that don't align with my goals, it can save you from unnecessary commitments. If you're an entrepreneur, writer, or in any creative field, this list becomes even more important. The key to your work is deep work, focused, high-quality output. If you keep getting distracted, you'll never reach your full potential. The don't-do list helps you stay clear on what to avoid, so you can focus on what matters most. This list is also useful for your personal life. Suppose you want to improve your health. If your don't-do list says, I won't eat junk food after 11 p.m., it helps you make better choices. Or, if you want to take care of your mental health, you can add, I won't spend time with people who drain my energy. It's important to know what not to do, just as much as what to do. We all have the same 24 hours, and if we can learn to invest our energy wisely, we can make a big change in our life. Creating a don't-do list is a simple but powerful way to make your days more productive and focused. If you follow it honestly, you'll see improvements in your efficiency, focus, and overall happiness. If this summary gave you that aha moment or helped shift your mindset even a little, hit that like button. It really helps the channel grow and reach more curious minds like yours. Got a takeaway or favorite part from this book? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts and keep the conversation going. And if you're someone who loves turning pages into progress, don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell icon so you never miss a powerful book breakdown like this. Thanks for watching, keep learning, and remember, small steps beat perfect plans. Always.